It's a harsh reality, but some people in our lives take pleasure in causing harm and chaos. Think about it. You could be sharing moments, trusting someone, only to discover they are the very source of your turmoil. Today, we dive deep into a topic that's as fascinating as it is frightening: recognizing the signs you're dealing with an evil person. Whether it's a colleague, a friend, or even a family member, these individuals can be masters of deception, hiding their true nature behind charm and charisma. Stay with us as we uncover 5 telltale signs of an evil person. By the end of this video, you'll not only be better equipped to spot these behaviors, but also learn practical ways to safeguard your mental health and well-being. And if you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple, free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Please don't skip any part of the video. You won't want to miss our special bonus section where I'll share an effective strategy for setting firm boundaries with these individuals. Let's embark on this journey of self-awareness and resilience together. The allure of charm and charisma. When we talk about people who seem charming and charismatic at first, it's important to remember that appearances can be deceiving. These individuals often have a way of lighting up a room, making everyone around them feel special and valued. They know exactly what to say to make you feel like you've just made a new best friend. At first glance, they seem like the perfect person, witty, engaging, and seemingly interested in your life. It's easy to get swept up in their charm, thinking you found someone truly special. However, the Stoics teach us to look beyond the surface and seek the truth through rational thought and observation. Over time, you might start to notice little cracks in their facade. Maybe they always need to be the center of attention, overshadowing others in social settings. They might talk over you, interrupt you, or even subtly put you down in front of others. These aren't just quirks or signs of an extroverted personality. They're red flags. The Stoics would advise us to observe these behaviors with a clear mind, unclouded by the initial excitement of their charisma. At first, it feels great to be in their orbit, but as the evening progresses, you realize they're dominating every conversation, making everything about themselves. When you try to share something about your life, they quickly redirect the topic back to them. This is where the Stoic principle of apatheia, a state of being undisturbed by external things, comes in handy. By staying emotionally balanced, you can see through their charming act and recognize the self-centered nature underneath. It's also crucial to pay attention to how they react when things don't go their way. A person who is genuinely kind and caring will handle disappointments and disagreements with grace and understanding. But someone who is merely playing a role to gain your trust might quickly become angry or defensive. They might lash out or try to manipulate the situation to regain control. According to Stoic wisdom, such reactions are clear indicators of a lack of virtuous character. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to be wary of those who display signs of anger and manipulation, as these are not the traits of a rational and virtuous person. Taking your time and trusting your instincts. The key here is to take your time and trust your instincts. The Stoics believed in the power of observation and the importance of not rushing to judgment based on first impressions. Epictetus taught that we should carefully evaluate the character of those we allow into our inner circle. So, if someone seems too good to be true, give yourself the space to observe their actions over time. Notice how they treat others, especially when they think no one is watching. True character is revealed in how a person behaves when they aren't trying to impress anyone. Remember, not everyone who seems charming and charismatic has good intentions. Some people use their charm as a tool for manipulation. By staying grounded and mindful, you can protect yourself from being taken in by a superficial facade. Stay true to the Stoic principles of wisdom and discernment, and you'll be better equipped to navigate these complex social interactions. The absence of empathy. Another crucial sign to watch out for is a lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's what allows us to connect deeply with those around us, to offer support when it's needed, and to create meaningful relationships. However, there are individuals out there who seem to completely lack this essential human trait. They don't care about how their actions or words affect others, and this can have a devastating impact on those around them. The Stoics believed in the importance of compassion and understanding as fundamental virtues. Marcus Aurelius often spoke about the interconnectedness of humanity and the need to consider the well-being of others as part of our own well-being. So, when we encounter someone who shows a blatant disregard for the feelings of others, it's a serious red flag. Personal vulnerability and the Stoic approach. Imagine you're sharing something deeply personal with a friend, hoping for some comfort or understanding. Instead of showing any genuine concern, they brush off your feelings or even mock your vulnerability. This lack of empathy can make you feel isolated and misunderstood. It's not just about them not being there for you in tough times, it's also about them failing to share in your joy or celebrate your successes. A person who lacks empathy won't cheer for your achievements. They might even undermine them or take credit themselves. This behavior is not just limited to personal relationships. Consider a boss who pushes their employees to the brink, showing no concern for their well-being. They might demand long hours without fair compensation, ignore requests for time off, or publicly criticize employees in a way that's meant to humiliate rather than constructively guide. This creates a toxic work environment where people feel undervalued and stressed. Vulnerability and the Stoic approach. Imagine you're sharing something deeply personal with a friend, hoping for some comfort or understanding. The Stoics would advise us to maintain our inner peace and integrity in such situations, recognizing that the lack of empathy in others is a reflection of their character, not ours. The Stoics would remind us to be observant and discerning, understanding that these small signs are indicative of a person's true character. If you find yourself dealing with someone who consistently lacks empathy, it's important to set boundaries to protect your own mental and emotional health. The Stoics believed in the importance of maintaining our own well-being and not allowing the negativity of others to disturb our peace. You have the right to distance yourself from those who drain your energy and bring you down. The Stoic view on manipulation. Let's think about manipulation from a Stoic perspective. The Stoics valued clarity of thought and the ability to see things as they truly are. They taught that our perceptions should be grounded in reality and that we should remain steadfast in our principles no matter the external pressures. When someone manipulates you, they are attempting to cloud your perception and distort reality, making it difficult for you to stay true to these Stoic ideals. A common form of manipulation is gaslighting, where the manipulator tries to make you doubt your own memory, perception, or sanity. They might deny that certain events happened, or they might twist your words and actions to make you feel at fault. For example, let's say you confront a friend about something hurtful they said. Instead of acknowledging it, they might turn the tables, accusing you of being overly sensitive or misremembering the situation. Recognizing and resisting manipulation. Manipulators are also adept at playing the victim. They might guilt-trip you into doing things you don't want to do by making you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being. You might have a friend who constantly complains about their problems, expecting you to drop everything to help them, yet they are never there for you in return. They might say things like, If you were really my friend, you would do this for me, making you feel obligated to comply. The Stoics would advise us to resist manipulation by staying true to our own values and principles. Epictetus taught that we should be mindful of our own actions and not allow others to dictate our behavior through deceit or coercion. If you recognize that someone is trying to manipulate you, it's crucial to take a step back and reassess the situation with a clear mind. Ask yourself whether this person's actions align with the values of honesty, integrity, and mutual respect. It's also important to trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Manipulators often rely on their victims' tendency to second-guess themselves, so it's important to stay grounded in your own perceptions and trust your judgment. Remember that you have the right to assert your boundaries and say no to things that don't feel right to you. I don't appreciate being made to feel guilty for not being able to do something. I hope you can respect my boundaries. If the person reacts negatively, it might be a sign that they were more interested in controlling you than in having a healthy relationship. Imagine you're in a relationship with someone who constantly criticizes your choices, from the clothes you wear to the friends you spend time with. They might say things like, "I just want what's best for you," but their actions are about exerting control rather than offering genuine support. They might also try to isolate you from others, making you feel dependent on them for validation and approval. This is a clear sign of an unhealthy relationship where one person is seeking to dominate the other. The Stoics would advise us to resist such control by cultivating inner strength and resilience. Epictetus taught that we should not allow others to dictate our lives, but rather take responsibility for our own decisions and actions. If someone is trying to control you, it's important to recognize that their behavior is not about what's best for you, but rather about their own need for power and dominance. They might feel threatened by your independence or success and seek to undermine it to make themselves feel more powerful. This can have a profound impact on your self-esteem and mental health, making you feel small and incapable. The Stoics would remind us that true power lies not in controlling others, but in controlling ourselves. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of focusing on our own actions and thoughts, rather than trying to control the external world. If you find yourself in a situation where someone is trying to dominate you, it's crucial to assert your own autonomy and not allow their behavior to diminish your sense of self-worth. If the person continues to try to control you, it may be necessary to distance yourself from them. This can be difficult, especially if it's someone you care about, but your well-being must come first. The Stoics teach us that we cannot control the actions of others, only our own responses. By maintaining your inner strength and resilience, you can protect yourself from the negative influence of those who seek to dominate you. Imagine a friend who constantly makes fun of you, putting you down in front of others, and then brushes it off by saying, "I'm just kidding, don't be so sensitive." Or consider a boss who publicly humiliates employees for minor mistakes, creating a culture of fear and anxiety in the workplace. These are clear signs of cruelty, and they should not be tolerated. The Stoics would advise us to respond to cruelty with firmness and clarity. Seneca wrote extensively about the importance of treating others with kindness and respect, even in the face of adversity. If someone is being cruel to you, it's important to stand up for yourself and not allow their behavior to diminish your sense of self-worth. The Stoics believed in the importance of maintaining our inner peace and not allowing the actions of others to disturb our equilibrium. If you find yourself dealing with someone who is consistently cruel, it may be necessary to remove yourself from the situation. This can be difficult, especially if the person is someone you care about, but your well-being must come first. The Stoics teach us that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control how we respond to them. By maintaining our inner strength and resilience, we can protect ourselves from the negative impact of cruelty. If you find yourself dealing with someone who exhibits these behaviors, it's important to remember that you have the right to protect yourself. Set clear boundaries, trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to distance yourself from those who seek to bring you down. Your well-being must come first. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing it with others who might benefit from this message. And don't forget to check out our special bonus section where I'll share an effective strategy for setting firm boundaries with difficult individuals. Stay strong, stay resilient, and remember, your peace of mind is worth protecting. Understanding the importance. Today, we're not just exploring this dark side of human behavior out of curiosity. Understanding these signs can be life-changing. The Stoics believed in the power of perception and the importance of living a life guided by reason and virtue. By identifying and understanding these toxic traits, we can protect our peace of mind and cultivate healthier relationships, staying true to the Stoic principles of wisdom and self-control. The allure of charm and charisma. When we talk about people who seem charming and charismatic at first, it's important to remember that appearances can be deceiving. These individuals often have a way of lighting up a room, making everyone around them feel special and valued. They know exactly what to say to make you feel like you've just made a new best friend. The Stoic perspective on charm. Imagine being at a party where this person is the life of the event, telling jokes and captivating the crowd. The sinister side of a lack of empathy. Furthermore, a lack of empathy can lead to more sinister behaviors. People who cannot empathize with others may engage in actions that are outright cruel or without any sense of guilt or remorse. They might lie, cheat, or even inflict physical harm without a second thought about the pain they're causing. The Stoic philosopher Seneca emphasized the importance of kindness and justice, teaching that our actions should always reflect our inner virtue. When someone lacks empathy, they're fundamentally disconnected from these values. A lack of empathy is also evident in smaller everyday interactions. For example, you might notice that someone constantly interrupts conversations to talk about themselves, shows little interest in what others have to say, or fails to offer help when it's clearly needed. These might seem like minor annoyances at first, but they add up to a pattern of behavior that reveals a deeper issue. Manipulation, a tool of the deceptive, can erode your confidence and make you reliant on the manipulator's version of reality. Another major sign of an evil person is manipulation. Manipulation is when someone uses deceit or cunning tactics to control or influence others to get what they want. It's a subtle, often insidious behavior that can be incredibly damaging to those on the receiving end. Manipulators are skilled at twisting situations, making you question your reality and bending your will to suit their needs. This can leave you feeling confused, powerless, and unsure of your own judgments. Setting boundaries with manipulators. Once you've recognized manipulation, the next step is to set firm boundaries. This can be challenging, especially if the manipulator is someone close to you. However, it's essential for protecting your own well-being. Be clear about what behaviors you will and will not tolerate, and don't be afraid to stand your ground. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-respect and maintaining our dignity, even in the face of external pressure. You might say something like, "I value our friendship, but I need to be honest about how I'm feeling." The desire to control and dominate. Another sign of an evil person is their desire to control and dominate others. This can manifest in various ways, from overt aggression to more subtle forms of control, such as constantly criticizing or belittling others. The Stoics believed in the importance of autonomy and self-control, teaching that we should not seek to dominate others, but rather focus on mastering our own minds and actions. When someone tries to control or dominate you, they are violating these principles, attempting to impose their will on you. The Stoic approach to control. Let's consider an example: the impact of control on your well-being. A person who seeks to control and dominate others often does so out of their own insecurities. Dealing with dominance. Dealing with someone who has a need to dominate can be challenging, but it's important to stand your ground and not allow them to undermine your confidence. Set clear boundaries and be assertive in communicating your needs and desires. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-respect and integrity, and this means not allowing others to dictate your actions or beliefs. A tendency towards cruelty. Finally, one of the most alarming signs of an evil person is a tendency towards cruelty. This can range from making hurtful comments to engaging in acts of violence or abuse. Cruelty is the antithesis of the Stoic virtues of kindness, justice, and wisdom. The Stoics believed that we should treat others with respect and compassion, recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every individual. Recognizing cruelty. Cruelty can often be disguised as tough love or just joking, but it's important to recognize it for what it is. The impact of cruelty on mental health. Cruelty can have a devastating impact on your mental health, leading to feelings of depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. It's important to recognize that the problem lies not with you, but with the person who is being cruel. In conclusion, recognizing the signs of an evil person is essential for protecting your mental and emotional well-being. Whether it's charm and charisma, a lack of empathy, manipulation, a desire to control, or a tendency towards cruelty, these behaviors are red flags that should not be ignored. The Stoics teach us to be discerning and to protect our peace of mind by setting boundaries and distancing ourselves from toxic individuals.